What's good, YouTube family? Welcome to another one of my video blogs. Title of this video, Why I Stopped Being a Vegan. Long story short, veganism is not the most optimal diet. It in fact does make us nutritionally deficient in certain nutrients that are essential for our optimal health and longevity as we age. You feel me? Many of us that are into the vegan diet may not even be aware of the fact that we are diminishing our quality of life just because we hold these firm personal beliefs with veganism, whatever it may be, that our beliefs are so strong nowadays that we tend to ignore our vitality and ultimately life diminishing right before our eyes just because the psyche in general is that powerful. You feel me? Our beliefs are powerful enough to bring our own body to its mortality, to its fucking death. You feel me? So in this video, my intention is just to inform us, give us some good education, some real fucking science, research proven, backed up information that is fucking truth. You feel me? We should all have the truth within us about anything and everything in life. You feel me? But in particular, what we're talking about in this video is dieting. You feel me? In particular, veganism. Veganism is not the most optimal diet out there, and I know some of you viewing this may still be a vegan. Shit, I was a vegan at one point. I even promoted it at some point in my life because of how it did bring up my energy and make me more energetic and just feel good, you feel me, in general. But it's all about learning the facts and actually knowing what's happening in your biochemistry, physiologically speaking, all the chemical reactions happening in your body when we put food in our body. We want to have the knowledge and intelligence of what is happening within so we can age what Dr. Andrew Weil calls gracefully, you feel me? So we can age in a manner where we don't have to worry about things arising such as illness, disease, cancers, or any mental illnesses or mental emotional imbalances, and just things that throw us out of homeostasis, you feel me? And homeostasis, for some of us that may not know, is being in a state of balance. The body, the mind, the spirit, everything is at a state of ease, in a state of coherence, in a state of health, you feel me? So veganism is not the most optimal fucking diet for us. And I have 9 sources of reference right here that I am going to share with you guys. 9 fucking books that I have read all completely, in depth, thoroughly, and have gained all of this knowledge and wisdom from, you feel me? And these books are all on nutrition and movement, but mainly fucking nutrition. And so yeah, let's start off with, let me just show you guys real quick. I got Eat for Life by Joel Fuhrman, MD, The Diet Cure by Julia Ross, Healthy Aging by Dr. Andrew Weil, MD, Healing Mushrooms by Tarot, Primal Fat Burner, Live Longer, Slow Aging, Superpower Your Brain and Save Your Life with a High-Fat, Low-Carb Paleo Diet by Nora Goddess, and then The Carnivore Code, the first edition by Paul Saladino, MD. We got Eat Smarter by Sean Stevenson. We got the OG fucking book that I highly recommend and suggest every person with humanitarian responsibilities reads, Nutritional and Physical Degeneration by Weston A. Price. This book is fucking loaded with what we're about to talk about in this video. That book is the main fucking reason, second to The Carnivore Code, as to why I transitioned from being a vegan to incorporating animal-based foods in my diet, you feel me? And last but not least, we have the great Paul Chek's book, How to Eat, Move, and Be Healthy by Paul Chek. This book is fucking beautiful. So before we dive into these books and and why I stopped being a vegan. Let's talk about why I did become a vegan in the first place, you feel me? I became a vegan, I would say, straight after high school. I know this is going to be a little off for some of you guys, but for me, what made veganism come about from me is when I took psychedelic mushrooms. Yes, some psychedelic mushrooms made me become a vegan. How? Why? Well, for those of us that know and may have taken some psychedelic mushrooms in our past, psychedelics in general raise our awareness. You feel me? They expand our state of consciousness. What the fuck do I mean by that? For those of us that may have never taken a psychedelic, you may not know what the fuck I mean. So hopefully you can grasp an understanding of what I am trying to explain. Essentially, your consciousness, you know how we're conscious right now of this video, you viewing this video. When you're on a psychedelic, your consciousness expands to the point where you can hear, sense, and be aware of things in a greater sense. So not just your surroundings, but you can hear and feel the planet. I know this fucking sounds crazy, but these are higher expanded states of consciousness that you can reach with psychedelics, right? So what am I getting at? When I took some psychedelic mushrooms straight out of high school, my awareness expanded a lot, right? So much so that I was greatly aware of this physical body that I possess as a soul, as a spirit, whatever the fuck we want to call this non-physical aspect of ourself, governing this physical aspect of ourself, right? I became much more greatly aware of this physical aspect and how what we consume, be it through the air, food, water, how what we consume really does determine our long-term quality of life. I don't know why that awareness arose within me, but it just did. As I was on these mushrooms, staring at my body, staring at my veins on my skin, I could just, thoughts would come to me from staring at my skin, right? And just like thoughts like, damn, blood is running through these veins and people die because things clump up in these veins, and things clump up because you're eating the wrong foods and the body doesn't know how to get rid of these things, so they clump up, they build up, and all these thoughts just come to my mind, right? And I become more aware and aware of the body and how it's working and how it fucking matters what we consume, right? So then I, like, the following day, maybe I'd say it's been a while since I took since that experience, right? But I'm sure that soon after that experience, I started doing homework and research on toxic chemicals for the body and finding out how there's toxic chemicals in our environment, in our food, in our water, and in our air. There's fucking toxic chemicals everywhere, you feel me? And so in order to avoid attracting diseases and cancers as we age, we want to make the body as healthy and vital as possible so that it can naturally on its own take care of foreign things and cells that are cancerous within us that may be wanting to duplicate and or take over and destroy our health, right? We want to make our body, well, this is the research I started doing because I wanted to make my body as healthy and vital as I can so it can be in a state to be as optimal as possible, to optimally digest at its peak potential, to optimally detox at its peak potential, to optimally do everything that it's supposed to at its peak potential, my body, right? My physiology. I started doing homework, and a lot of the stuff I started learning was leading to the safest, most cleanest diet today is veganism. And that is unfortunately because a lot of things are chemically laden, meaning toxic nowadays, especially animal fucking meats. Now don't get me wrong, that is a fucking fact. Conventionally Conventionally farm raised animal products, whether it be eggs or animal meats, is very fucking dangerous for our health. Those animals, those chickens, those cattle are all injected and infused with robavian, I forgot the term, but they're basically ingested with bovine growth hormones, and those hormones just fuck up their entire physiology, rush their lifespan so they can be put on shelves for mass production and keep this money flow going. That's just the way our country works, unfortunately. And yeah, long story short, that's having a very huge detrimental effect on our environment, let alone on our health. You feel me? And that right there is what has led people to the vegan craze. That is what led me to the vegan craze. And that is what led me to this first source of reference all about veganism, right? Joel Furman, he has a book all about pretty much plants, right? And I want to read this highlight to us. And he says, the foods with the strongest evidence supporting their anti-cancer and longevity promoting effects are green vegetables, particularly leafy green cruciferous vegetables, followed by the other G-bombs, which is an acronym for greens, beans, onions, mushrooms, berries, and seeds. All he said in that sentence was that the greatest cancerous foods are basically everything he named had no meats, no animal products in it, right? So Joel Furman is someone that motivated me to go vegan. And reading this book, a lot of these people healed their illnesses. A lot of people had high blood pressure, high cholesterol, type 2 diabetes, believe it or not, couple stages of cancers, and reverse these things and completely healed these things through a vegan diet. Now, grant you, vegan diets have to be certified organic, right? Because if we're not buying certified organic, then we're doing the same thing we are doing to our body as if we were buying these conventionally farm-raised animal meats, right? Buying non-certified organic produce means we are buying produce that is chemically laden, sprayed with pesticides, fungicides, rodenticides, herbicides, things that are very fucking detrimental to our health if we are thinking about our health on a cellular fucking biochemical level, you feel me? When these chemicals get into our cells, they clog our cells and our cells begin to die, and we can get tumors, cancers, and things that we don't fucking want simply from fucking food, you feel me? So Joel Furman got me on that. This book is loaded with a bunch of Eat for Life, right? Loaded with a bunch of stories of people healing their illnesses. But that's one thing. If you stick and only read one book in your life, you're not gonna learn the whole picture. I'm grateful that I picked up more fucking books, because if I would have stopped at this, I probably would be fucking sick today, because like I said in the beginning of this video, veganism is a very nutritionally depleting diet. So I probably would have been so deficient in many nutrients today that I without a doubt would be not as optimal and as vital and as coherent as I am today, you feel me? So soon after that, all these other books incorporate fucking meats, you feel me? I started learning about, I don't know which order I started learning all these people, but we're just gonna dive in next to Julia Ross. Julia Ross, I started learning about her work. I came across her on YouTube, picked up her book, and her book's amazing. Her book is pretty much showing case after case how she's healed and cured 100% people that are on the streets on fucking drugs. Finding out scientifically that the drugs, really, it's all a chemical thing, right? Chemicals, drugs are chemicals, foods are chemicals, our brain, it's all chemicals, right? So she scientifically has found out and proven in her book with these drug addicts and just people in general that are loading their physical body with a lot of sugar, because sugar has been shown to have the same effect on the brain that heroin does. Julia Ross has proven scientifically that all we need is amino acids in our diet. all essential amino acids in optimal ratios, which has only been proven and shown to come by way of animal products. That is what we need in our diet to sustain and rebuild optimal neural functions, neurochemicals, you feel me? Dopamine, serotonin, the endorphins, the feel-good hormones, oxytocin, all of that. Any of us that are smoking weed all day, every day, like your boy, we are releasing these feel-good hormones, right? And we want to be replenishing them optimally, intelligently, and the only way to do that is by way of amino acids, good, high quality, natural amino acids, which come by way of food. No supplement can ever replace the complexity of food that comes by way of nature. Nature has it all right. Nature created the complexity of vitamins, minerals, alkaloids, enzymes, terpenes, you fucking name it, all infused in food. That complex technology of food created by nature itself cannot be replicated and put into a fucking supplement. We need to snap out of supplementing with things and snap out of the idea and belief that veganism is all that healthy for us, when in fact it is not. So that's Julia Ross. I highly recommend you guys do some homework on that. That's just a long fucking story short. There's many other things that she teaches, but long story short, from this book, The Diet Cure, curing people from their addictions, from their diet addictions to their drug addictions by way of replenishing their amino acids. Literally, they're low on amino acids, so start looking into amino acids. The next book would be Nutrition and Physical Degeneration by Weston A. Price. This is a great fucking book. This book got me to completely incorporate everything from raw liver to raw bone marrow to raw fucking beef organs. I went from being a vegan, eating nothing but pure fucking raw plants, nuts, seeds, grains, you name it, to adding all of this insane exotic fucking meats in my diet. But there's a right way to do it, you feel me? You know how I said earlier, buying conventionally farm-raised animal products is not the way to go because they are injected with growth hormones and who knows, God knows what else they're injected with. That's fucking up our health nowadays. The right way to go is to put your money into the people, the farmers, practicing regenerative, sustainable farming, which is animals that are grass-fed, grass-finished, raised on pasture raised, you feel me? That means, in other words, they're raised on green fucking fields that are so long for them to roam on, and then every 30 days they get transferred from that pasture field to another completely different pasture field where they get to destroy all that grass, and then the other field that they left is regenerating. And it's just a whole fucking process that I am explaining in a long story short, again, for you guys, to not make this video longer than it already is. Shout the fuck out to you. If you guys are still tuning in, make sure to leave a thumbs up, leave a love comment, support your boy. And yeah, when you're going to the market and buying animal products, you want to buy grass-fed, grass-finished, pasture-raised, not pasteurized. Pasteurized products are bad for us. Pasteurized products, by definition, means all living organisms and enzymes in those products are completely dead. So when we are consuming those products, it is robbing our bodies enzymes and probiotics and prebiotics just to get rid of that food. And if we are consuming that food day after day, unconscious of this education of pasteurized products, then we are robbing our body of enzymes day after day after day, causing us to become deficient, if not completely out of certain enzymes within our physiology, thus being diagnosed with certain things in life, you feel me? So we want to be aware of that fact. It's about buying grass-fed, grass-finished, pasture-raised, not pasteurized products, animal products. That is the way to go. I recommend you guys do your homework on that. we're going to conclude the video at that. If you guys want to learn more about grass-fed, grass-finished meat products and more about why I recommend you guys that are into veganism should think about and incorporate, why I highly recommend, sorry, I got some burps coming up, excuse me, why I highly recommend and think you guys should consider organ meats in your diet. A good source of reference is The Carnivore Code by Paul Saladino, MD. Again, Nutritional and Physical Degeneration by Weston A. Price. And then another great one is Primal Fat Burner by Nora Goddess. These are some great books for those of you that may be in the vegan phase. And let me just say, at some point, you shall grow from that phase, you feel me? I'm not saying to completely get rid of plants in your life. Like I said, I even got the Healing Mushrooms book, read this entire book. Mushrooms are very beneficial for us. I still fucking eat mushrooms every single fucking day. I still eat vegetables probably every other day or every other 3 days. I intelligently incorporate it now because I have all of this thorough, in-depth knowledge behind nutrition that I'm not just lollygagging and guessing with my shit, you feel me? I'm not just watching random shit on YouTube, but I am going deep into these studies and really understanding this shit, you feel me? So with that being said, to conclude this video, why I stopped being a vegan, because it is not the most optimal diet that is out there. The most optimal diet, without a doubt, is the animal-based diet, which is a diet not necessarily created by Paul Saladino, MD, but it is a diet that is greatly explained and made understood by Paul Saladino, MD. So I highly recommend after this video, you guys go look into the animal-based diet by Paul Saladino, MD. Look at what I'm talking about. Basically, it's having dominantly organ meats in your diet, having meats in your diet, eggs, because organ meats, animal-based products have the most nutrients in them. And when we are consuming nutrient-dense foods, we are feeding our organ cells, tissues, glands, bones, and everything within us. And we are expressing our most vital, healthiest, strongest, greatest fucking self just by food. And it really does start by way of food, because it's all a chemical reaction within our physiology, right? If we want to express good feelings, good thoughts, goodness all around, then you have to put the good in, you feel me? And it's being aware and educated of what the good is. Grass-fed, grass-finished, and when you're buying produce, certified organic, you feel me? Otherwise, you're doing detriment to your health on the cellular level and you're not even aware of it, or you are now and you're just not implementing the knowledge, you feel me? That is going to be it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.